What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here. Welcome to our daily show where we discuss everything going on here in the country, in Washington, D.C., with money, investing, the stock market, everything going on here with the stimulus check update, the fourth stimulus package update, and everything you need to know about on a daily basis. If you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel yet, make sure to click the subscribe button down below. It's completely free to do so you don't miss out on new videos that come out here every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And thank you so much for smashing the like button for us down below. You guys are amazing. We got a lot to talk about here today, so let's jump right in. Also, 4 more states will be getting more stimulus money in 2022, so make sure to watch all the way through this video. I'll be giving you the details on that as well. Millions of healthcare workers will need to be vaccinated starting today to keep their jobs because the vaccine mandate that the Supreme Court upheld starts to take effect starting today. That's right. Healthcare workers in about half of the U.S. states starts today, Thursday, and will need to be vaccinated for healthcare workers against the virus as the Biden administration's requirement takes effect and was upheld by the Supreme Court in a 5-4 decision, with 2 Republican Supreme Court members joining the 3 Democrat Supreme Court members to uphold this decision. Remember that the other Supreme Court decision was struck down on the other vaccine mandate for employers and employees of over 100 employees. That Supreme Court decision was struck down with the 6 Republican Supreme Court justices voting no on that vaccine mandate. That was struck down. 6 Republican Supreme Court justices voted no, and 3 Democratic justices voted yes to uphold that vaccine mandate, but that one did not make it, and that vaccine mandate was struck down. So the healthcare worker vaccine mandate enforcement of the requirement begins in 25 states and the District of Columbia starting today, and will extend to every other state except Texas on February 14th. Enforcement in Texas will start on February 22nd. The Center for Medicare and Medicaid Services staggered the deadlines because of various lawsuits brought by Republican-led states. Subsequent court rulings blocked the requirement in some states, but not others, leading to a patchwork of different rules before the Supreme Court earlier this month allowed the requirement to take effect on different days. And then employees will have another month to receive the second doses if required. This order will cover about 10.3 million healthcare workers across every section of the healthcare industry, including doctors, nurses, technicians, and even volunteers at every facility that participates in Medicare or Medicaid. Moderna has begun human trials for the Omicron targeted booster shot. That's right, Moderna has started testing an Omicron specific booster shot in adults, the company announced Wednesday. The trial, which will include several hundred people at 24 sites across the U.S., comes as the company and healthcare officials grapple with a rise in cases linked to the Omicron variant. Meanwhile, cases in the US are still very, very high. They have come down a little bit, The 7-day average is 619,958. So, yeah, still over 600,000 per day. Yesterday's cases was actually higher than that at 686,000 yesterday. So it's still very, very high. And on January 24th, we had a million cases, over a million cases, 1,032,000 cases. You can see the trend is down a little bit here from where we were here, but you can see the spike here still dramatically higher than where we were a few months ago when we were down to as low as just a few thousand cases per day. So our average right now is 619,000 cases per day right now. So it's still dramatically higher than where we were months ago. But it is coming down a little bit. It is coming down a little bit. You can see the trend coming down a little bit. We were at 700,000 cases per day, 800,000 cases per day. Was about the high, was about the average high. Um, so we are at 619,000 average cases per day right now. Here is White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki being asked about the Build Back Better stimulus package. Check this out.
Go ahead.
Just a quick question on inflation. Many people believe that government spending is a big factor in the current inflation levels. Can you speak to concerns that spending plans that come out of Build Back Better aren't paid for and so could mean higher deficits and more inflation in the future?
Aren't paid for? Build Back Better is paid for. Entirely.
Okay. Can you speak to the concerns that are coming in that it's
Who are
not
the concerns
actually
from, though? But who's saying it's not paid for? Because there have been a range of economists saying it's entirely paid for, and that has been a priority for the president. It has also been concluded by a number of Nobel laureates and experts from a range of economic experts on the outside that it will not contribute to inflation. So those are the global experts that we would point to, but there may be others suggesting something else, but I don't know who those people are.
If those bills do pass, it will not raise taxes?
Well, something being entirely paid for means that part of that is the highest income Americans, that companies would be asked to pay a little bit more. That has been part of the proposal and part of reforming the tax system to make it more fair.
So they're also not expected to contribute to future inflation then?
The Build Back Better bill, again, it's fully paid for. We would point to Nobel laureates and a range of global economists who have conveyed that it would not contribute to inflationary pressures.
Meanwhile, we have Senate Democrats urging Biden to renew the monthly checks to parents, the child tax credits, as the program is in danger of potentially getting dropped from the Build Back Better package completely because of Senator Joe Manchin. So this is a potential that could happen. The child tax credits could get dropped completely. It also could get split off and be passed through a standalone bill, potentially with Republican support. If it does go through a standalone bill, it would need Republican support with at least 10 Republican senators. There are several Republican senators that are in favor of the child tax credits, like Republican Senator Mitt Romney, Republican Senator Josh Hawley. Both of them have their own proposals, their own bills for child tax credits. Those bills actually pay more for the child tax credits than the current or the last year's bill for the child tax credits. They actually would pay more money for them, but they have work requirements and sometimes income thresholds for them. So, but we do have a lot of pressure being put on to get a bill passed in some way, shape, or form right now because 60 million children are not getting their monthly payments right now. The January payment did not go out. And if they don't get it out fast, the February payment will not go out either because that's in just a little bit over 2 weeks from now. You can see here a faction of Senate Democrats are urging President Joe Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris in a new letter on Wednesday to keep the expanded child tax credit in the $2 trillion social and climate bill that stalled out in the Senate. They warned of, quote, dire consequences for millions of kids that could slip back into poverty without the federal aid. The letter was composed by Senator Ron Wyden of Oregon, Michael Bennet of Colorado, Sherrod Brown of Ohio, Raphael Warnock of Georgia, and Cory Booker of New Jersey, all senators. The group laid out some of the potential effects of failing to renew the program for families who had come to rely on the federal aid to make ends meet, saying, quote, the consequences of failing to extend the child tax credit expansions are dire, particularly as families face another wave of the pandemic, the senators wrote. Without the expanded child tax credit, nearly 10 million children will be thrown back into or deeper into poverty this winter, increasing the monthly child poverty rate from roughly 12% to at least 17%. It comes as the program is in jeopardy of falling out of the bill due to its lingering objections from Senator Joe Manchin, a conservative Democrat. He's dug in on his demand to impose a work requirement on the child tax credit, a move that would shut out millions of the poorest families from qualifying for the program. Manchin is also skeptical of monthly check programs, arguing it could dissuade parents from working. The party faces an enormous challenge in the coming weeks to redesign the House approved bill and addresses Manchin's litany of concerns, also including its impact on inflation and the national debt. Biden conceded last week that he may fail at securing a renewal of the child tax credit program. Remember, these checks go out to about 60 million children. The child tax credit was only expanded for a year under the stimulus law, the third stimulus check package, and it expired at the end of 2021. The program's reach had been widened to families who don't typically file taxes this year, and its cash sum was beefed up to $3,000 per child and $3,600 for each child under the age of 5. It amounted to a near universal child benefit. Research from the Center on Poverty and Social Policy indicates that child poverty has dropped by 30% as a result of the expanded child tax credit. Wow, that's actually amazing. The child poverty dropped by 30% because of this one thing. Imagine that. Then a new study published Monday found that mothers benefiting from a steady flow of cash aid with no strings attached could improve the cognition development of their newborns. Wow, imagine that. Absolutely just amazing. And Congress can't come to an agreement to extend this. There's mounting anxiety among Democrats that the program may be a casualty of future negotiations meant to restructure the bill and get Manchin's pivotal vote. Without him, the package can't pass over united Republican support in the 50-50 Senate. Yeah, so let me know your thoughts here. We got a lot of different things here on the proposal right now. And also, we just had $100 million approved for low income Americans, low income citizens that you can get through the LIHEAP program for utility assistance. You can get anywhere from $100, several $100 up to over $1,000 approved here. I'll link you to that here at the end of this video for utility assistance for heating and electric that was just approved for low income residents. So we are starting to see more and more of that. We also have a lot of different SNAP benefits being approved here on a monthly basis. So we are starting to see more and more a different type of pandemic relief being approved here on a monthly basis here. But we want to continue to see more and more of this here. Congress is working on several different types of stimulus packages here. We have the Build Back Better stimulus package. We have more and more mounting support for another pandemic stimulus package. They're considering more business type of stimulus packages like the Paycheck Protection Program, more business not owner protection, but owner stimulus for like small business owners have been just absolutely crushed during this pandemic. They're considering another round of stimulus for that if you happen to be a small business owner. Last report was that 37% of all small business owners have completely gone out of business and lost their businesses during this pandemic. And of course, we have a potential another stimulus check as well. We have millions of people pushing for that as well. We have a petition with over 3 million signatures that have been signed already, and that mounts or that declines every single day. As always, make sure you email, tweet, and call your senators and your representatives. Let them know that millions of people are still in need of support. In fact, a recent report showed that 25% of all Americans are behind or cannot pay their bills at this moment. Yeah, it's still really dire out there, to be honest. Okay, as you can see here, extra stimulus money is coming for residents in these 4 states in 2022. And this stimulus check update. Here we go. Number one, California's stimulus program. Governor Gavin Newsom, California's governor, has said that there will probably be another round of payments to Californians this year. So remember that last year in 2021, the California Golden State Stimulus Program, round one, went out to residents making under $30,000, and round two went out to Californians making $30,000 to $75,000. Because of California's surplus of money, there's probably, the governor says, going to be some type of payment, maybe another stimulus check this year in 2022 as well. So look forward to that as well. And remember, California is the largest state population wise. You can actually take 10 different states here in the US and combine them, and California would have more population than them. So 27 million people got stimulus checks from California last year, and there's a good chance it's going to happen again this year as well, based on what Governor Gavin Newsom said. So I will keep you up to date on that. As well, we hope that a lot of other states do that this year. Remember that in the third stimulus check package, each state got over $1 billion. Not a single state, as far as I'm aware, has even spent half of the money. So in 2022, we're probably going to see a lot more states spend the money, dole the money out, hopefully in stimulus check programs or stimulus type programs, and I'll keep you up to date here in this channel. Number two, Florida's educator stimulus checks. Last year, the state of Florida issued $1,000 checks to teachers and principals as a thank you for continuing to work and teach students during the pandemic. About 170,000 teachers and principals received their stimulus money. And while nothing is set in stone yet, it appears that another bonus may be coming for Florida's educators. The 2022 state budget in Florida includes money earmarked for another stimulus check for teachers and principals. If passed, it's likely that the checks would be worth another $1,000, which would be a pretty decent incentive for educators to continue to work through this ongoing pandemic. Pretty cool. Number three, Indiana's state stimulus check. Similar to California, Indiana has a budget surplus that would be returned to residents in the form of a stimulus check. When Indiana residents file their 2021 tax returns, they will receive a state-funded tax return worth approximately $125. That money will come from the state budgetary surplus that occurred during the 2021 fiscal year. I believe this is not even because of stimulus money. This is just because of the state budgetary surplus. So Indiana still has their stimulus money as well. Tax returns began being accepted as early as this past Monday, January 24th. What this means is that Indiana residents who file early and file a state tax return as well can access this extra stimulus check in the next coming weeks, provided that their tax returns are processed within that time frame. New York's undocumented worker stimulus program. Undocumented workers across the nation were widely ineligible to take advantage of the federal stimulus money that was issued in 2020 and 2021. To level the playing field, the state of New York stepped in and offered undocumented workers access to $2.1 billion stimulus check fund. This fund allows undocumented workers to claim the money from the first two stimulus checks. To qualify, you must be a resident of the state of New York and must have earned less than $26,000 in 2020. You must also have been deemed ineligible for the first two stimulus checks. So as I said, we're probably going to see a lot more different type of programs here in 2022. And I will keep you up to date with everything here. Child tax credits, raises for seniors with Social Security, cost of living adjustments, as well as stimulus check programs for low income Americans and regular stimulus checks. Everything you need to know about on a daily basis. So make sure to subscribe down below to our channel. It's completely free to do so. Remember that new videos come out here every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Don't miss out on any new videos. You can click here to watch my newest video next, and you can click here to watch that new video that just had over $100 million approved for low income Americans, and you can claim some of this money. So click on one of those videos next. Thanks, guys, and I will see you in the next video.